Apologizing. There are many things to consider when you decide whether or not it is the right thing to apologize to somebody in a relationship. It is, of course, usually a good idea, but you have to actually think about it before you do it. You've got to use wisdom. If somebody's going to use your apology abusively against you to harm you or to set you up or to throw it against your face constantly in a relationship, then maybe it isn't safe for you to apologize, but be liberal with that one in the sense that you don't kind of get defensive and think, oh, well, this person's going to tell me, yeah, you knew you did wrong, or you're apologizing because, you did it again. I mean, it's not the kind of thing where the person says something back to you. It's literally where somebody would use it abusively against you in a really, really, really mean way. So that one you have to kind of be a little bit liberal with. The next one, if somebody demands that you apologize, they say, you apologize to me. We do this to our kids. We say, you apologize to your little brother, or you apologize to your little sister. And I always kind of not known if I agree with that, because on the one hand, we want to teach our children to apologize. On the other hand, we want to teach them to apologize when they are truly sorry, because it's kind of like repenting to God and saying, hey, forgive me for doing this when we don't really think we did anything wrong. Or we tell God sorry when we haven't done anything wrong in our minds and we don't intend to change anything. So I kind of, sometimes I say, ask kids, what do you think you could have done differently? Which kind of opens up the possibility in their mind that maybe they have other choices, rather than saying you have to apologize. Okay, so first one, use wisdom. Don't apologize to somebody who will use it abusively against you to harm you. Second one is if somebody demands an apology and you honestly do not think that you've done anything wrong, do not apologize just to keep the peace or avoid this person's disapproval, because you need to mean it when you apologize. You can say something instead of saying, I'm sorry for what I did. You can say, I'm sorry that my actions negatively affected you. And that way you're not saying you did anything wrong, but if you sincerely feel like, hey, I'm not happy that I hurt this person or that this person was hurt. People respond out of their own stuff. So people can be hurt when we haven't done anything wrong. So maybe you can say, I'm really sorry that you were negatively affected. I wasn't my intention for you to be negatively affected. That might be splitting hairs, but I think it's okay to split hairs in a relationship and to really speak honestly and truthfully about what we're really feeling. We have lots of words that can very specifically explain what our truth is, and there's times that we need to use that when it comes to do with apologizing. The third one is if you're not sorry and you don't intend to change. So then you're just like saying sorry, 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 like that little kid who says sorry to their sibling, but not only does he not think he did anything wrong, he's not planning on doing anything different in the future. So people grow tired of your empty words. And sometimes you might have had somebody say to you, hey, I don't want to hear the words. Maybe you've said this to somebody. I don't want to hear the words anymore. They don't mean anything to me, because you are frequently apologizing and yet your behavior doesn't change. So when you're honestly wanting to change your behavior, let me know that that's the point that you're really sorry. Okay, the next one, number 4, is sometimes an apology isn't enough. Sometimes saying I'm sorry, you also have to make what's called restitution. And the Old Testament talked a lot about restitution. And it talked about if you were taking care of somebody's oxen or cows and something happened to them while they were on your property, that there's a certain restitution that you need to make. If you went and stole somebody's ox, there was a certain restitution that you needed to make. So in other words, restitution means that you make up for what it was that you did to this person. And sometimes that restitution might be monetary. If you get in an accident, you cause somebody to have monetary damages to their car, lost time off of work, you make restitution. Your insurance pays them, you pay them. Your insurance pays them on behalf of you because you've paid for the insurance, or you pay them by writing out a check. That's restitution. So you can say, I'm sorry I hit you, I didn't mean to, I wasn't looking, but I was at fault, and here's my restitution. We can also do that in relationships. And sometimes the exact thing that we did, we can't always make a monetary restitution or specifically, but maybe it's just to do something very kind for someone. It's to bring them dinner or take them somewhere, or say, I caused you, grief and time that you spent worrying about this or being upset. So, let me take you out to dinner, or let me take your kids for the day while you go do this. I mean, there's a way to sometimes let people know that this is my restitution for what I've done. And just want to say something here to women. A lot of times women don't want to accept their husband's restitution. If their husband has done something, if a husband has done something to hurt his wife and the guy says sorry, but he doesn't say the perfect sorry with the perfect words and then brings flowers, women sometimes want to stay mad and they want to take the flowers and chuck them in the trash. You should really accept, unless somebody's being manipulative or they're truly ignoring a very serious situation and just trying to buy you off, you really should take the restitution that people offer you at face value and accept it as that person's way of telling you that they're sorry and that they care. And don't trash it. Just accept it for what it is and then use your words. You could say, the flowers are very nice. I really appreciate them. But I also need to hear the words, I'm sorry, or I need to make sure that you know what you did so that it won't happen again. But don't take the flowers and throw them in the trash, or act like you're throwing them in the trash with your attitude. Okay, the next one is a biggie. And this one is, okay, you need to apologize. You feel like you've done something wrong. You've already worked through all that. But now the question, what do you say? Do you say, sometimes the best thing to say is, I was wrong. Will you forgive me? If the person says no, not yet, that's their choice. You've done your part. You've asked for forgiveness. But if you say to the person, I'm sorry, will you forgive me? And the person says yes, sometimes the best thing to do is to just drop it. But sometimes giving an explanation is healthy. And it helps the person understand what your reason was, what your motive was, what your thinking was, and it brings you closer and helps you heal the relationship. Other times, explaining what happened sounds like an excuse. It sounds like you're justifying it and you're saying, oh, sorry, but I was tired. Sorry, but I was running late. Sorry, but I've got a lot on my mind. And so you just got to really use wisdom in thinking about what is best. Is more words an explanation better than a few words, or is just a few words? And so, as in all things in a relationship, apologizing takes discernment and wisdom. Proverbs 18:19 says, a brother wronged is more unyielding than a fortified city. Disputes are like the barred gates of a citadel. So apologizing is a very important way of breaking down that hurt that you have caused in somebody else's life. And it definitely needs to be one of your honed relationship skills. So thank you for watching this video on Change My Relationship. I hope that you'll look for more and that you're subscribed to my videos and that you've taken some time to check out my website and see the things that I have to offer there, and the classes that I teach and the webinars that I offer, and my books and audio studies, video studies. And I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to what I had to say today about apologizing.